Yo, hippies all in the building, man. So, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed, you better subscribe. If you're a stoner, just hit that subscribe, man. You need this channel. So, on this video, we're gonna talk about the Matrix. You understand? We're gonna talk about the Matrix, and specifically about the red and the blue pill. You understand? So now, what is the Matrix? See, when we talk about reality, you have to understand that there are multiple realities. You understand? And for each individual, there is multiple realities. So you can choose to live your life and face reality, as in you can choose to live and look at life how it is and affirm to how it is. Understand? Which is a reality. It's going to be a reality. And there's also another way to see if there are multiple realities. And this is quite a delusional way to approach life. But it takes a certain level of spiritual inclination for you to be able to even come to that realization. Understand? That you can actually choose to live in a different reality simultaneously with other people who are trapped in one reality. So you see where I'm going? That's the Matrix. So all of those realities, they are a matrix. They are what makes up the matrix. From the lower level, which is from the purgatory level. The purgatory level is the lowest level, the lowest animalistic nature. Understand? So we think that animals are only found on that level, but there's also animals on the second and the first dimension. And if you want to see that there are animals in the first and second dimension, just take your microscope, right, and then pour a little bit of milk on on some scientific glass, whatever, or scientific prospect, and then let that milk rot. Understand? Once that milk rots, then put a solution, I forgot what they call it, that solution that helps you to see through the microorganism realm. You understand? To see through the microorganism realm. So what you're gonna see on that milk that is rotten is that there are things that are moving around. Understand? And those things, the way they are moving around that realm of bacteria and whatever, they are moving in a way that it's a dog-eat-dog world. You understand? So it's a survival world. It's a purgatory world. So that's their matrix. It's at the lower level. So now that's first and second dimension, and then when we reach to a third dimension, that's where we see us. Understand? That's where we exist, humans. And on this realm, it's us and other bigger animals. You understand? Not those ones that you find in the bacteria world, in the microcosm world. You understand? It's bigger versions of those that you see in that microcosm world. So that's a basic example, but that's the actual example of a mini version of a matrix. You understand? So when you start talking about the microcosm to us, what is small to us, which is the second and first dimension, that's what the matrix is for them. That whole fighting and like, because that's what they do. You have to feed on each other. You understand? On that level, you have to literally feed on each other to survive. And when it comes to this level, you don't necessarily have to feed on each other. Like, the more you rise up, the more broader perspective you have, about feeding off each other. It's like when we're at the lower levels, like, we literally feed off each other. You understand? So when we get to the second dimension, yes, we feed off each other, but there's a little bit of like like mutual exclusiveness. You understand? So there are things that you can feed off. Like, let me put it this way: we feed off based upon our state of being. So we feed upon based upon like the things that we resonate with. That's what we feed upon. And then when we reach this level, we feed upon the food that resonates with our vacuum, what is holding us, our containers. That's what we feed off. Whatever that is resonating with the container that we have to live in this dimension, that's what we feed off. That's why they say, like, we are what we eat. That's where it comes from. So, like, anyway, now you can, I guess by now you already have the idea that, okay, this is the matrix from lower dimensions to the ninth dimension. So when we reach the fourth dimension, this is what happens. On the third level, right, the matrix is whatever that is influencing the container that you have, the container that you've created for yourself, from being an animal to being a human. Whatever body that you have created for yourself, an animal body or a human body, on this third level dimension, like the influences that you get from other bodies that have been created by other spirits, that's what we feed upon. So, like, for example, you feed upon another body that is created by another spirit, which is a plant and an animal. That's what we eat, right? And to show that animals still have the mentality that is at the second dimension, but us, we have the mentality, animals, they have the mentality that is on the third level, and us, we have the mentality that is on the fourth level. So that's where we're getting ready to go after when we die, you understand, on this level, considering that you have passed, you've acquired more enough information for you to actually go into the fourth dimension, or way above the fourth dimension. Because, like, okay, fourth dimension, right? That dimension, animals, like, we are animals, but we are getting trained to go to the fourth dimension. That's why we have things like intuition, consciousness. That's why we have things like expanding consciousness. That's why we have things like expanding intuition. That's why we have things like creativity, because creativity is the mental realm, is the thought realm. So, and the more we rise, the lesser physical it is. So even the things that we feed off, they're going to be less physical. Like, you have to think about it this way: the dimension that we're in, like, when you look down, right, when you look through the lower dimensions and when you look through higher dimensions, it's one and the same thing. It's just that when you look through the lower dimension, when you're at this level, they are smaller, and when you look at the higher dimensions, when you're at this level, they are bigger. But in reality, they are just the same reality. You understand? It just shows, like, we come from a smaller version to a higher version, from a lesser version to a more version, to a physical, from a non-physical version to a physical version. So that's what we are creating. We are actually creating a physical life. but we have to go through all of these experiences so that we can perfect it. That's what eternal life means. We're not going to experience it yet, but as time goes on, the more we can, it's going to be more physical. Understand? Even at those higher dimensions, you know. Anyway, not everyone is going to believe that, but like, think about it. So now, fourth dimension, what we feed upon when we reach to fourth dimension, when we get fourth dimensional bodies, we start to feed upon like, we start to feed upon like thoughts. You understand? Thoughts and feelings. Like thoughts are fourth dimension, feelings are fifth dimension. You understand? So once you raise your consciousness to a point whereby you can literally use another person's thoughts, or use another person's feelings, or use your own thoughts and feelings to direct other individuals, then you've passed to go to the fourth and fifth dimension. You understand? So this is what's going to happen. You won't be physical on the fourth and fifth dimension, but the information that you have is what's going to help you to go into the sixth dimension. So the third, the sixth, and the ninth dimension are physical. You understand? So that's what we're getting ready to do now. On this level, we are learning about the fourth and fifth, thoughts and emotions, that these are not ours, but this is like other bodies that we feed upon. You understand? But higher bodies, you know, because if you were to eat thoughts literally, like, we wouldn't imagine thinking a car and having to eat a car so that you can think about it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's big in the imagination realm, but like I mean, it's big in the physical realm, but in the imagination realm, it's as small as other things. Like I say, it's the same size, just that when you look down, it's small. When you look up, it's big, according to the dimension that you're in. So now, that was just a quick introduction, which took about like 12 minutes explaining what is the matrix. Now you get the point, right? So now, the question is, the big question is, the red or the blue pill? You know, that's the big question. Do we take the red or the blue pill, right? So basically, the red pill and the blue pill means that if you take the red pill, you come back to this life and you experience this matrix, and you continue to experience this matrix, right? Like infinite times, until you actually remember that, no, I just wanted to experience this. It's not the actual and the only reality. It's just what I wanted to experience at that moment. You understand? So you have to keep that in mind. Now, when you take the blue pill, you decide to say, okay, I don't go into the matrix, you know, I resist the matrix, you know. So you are saying, yes, you want to be alive, right? You want to live, you want to exist, but you don't want to go into the matrix. So if you think about that movie, The Matrix, once Neo took that other pill, which is the blue pill, he started like seeing, oh, I'm not sure if I'm even correct on the polarity, you know, as in like red means this, blue, but I think I'm good, you know. So like, anyway, whatever the pill that he took it to escape the matrix. So according to my like understanding of the movie, the first movie was like him being like they showing the experiences that he has, because he was born into a reality that by default he had taken the red pill, right? Which means he was in the matrix. And then the Matrix Reloaded was showing you that he took the other pill, or he was getting trained to take the other pill, which is escaping the matrix, living outside of the matrix. And you could see that living outside of the matrix means that you have to fight against the matrix. So which means you're still in the matrix, just outside of the matrix. Understand? You are it's like being outside of the house but still in the yard. You understand? So you're gonna feel, you're gonna see, you're gonna experience everything just from the outside, just like Neo was doing, you know. So you could use all of your delusions and imaginations to create that world for yourself, because it's not created for you, but you're gonna create for yourself according to how you're looking at it from the outside. So it's still a matrix, you know. So this is what I'm gonna advise you. Now coming to the purpose of this video, right? This is what I'm gonna advise you. Don't take the red nor the blue pill. Don't take neither. You understand? The red and the blue pill are just the same thing. So what I'm gonna say is that don't fight against the system. Don't argue against the system. And at the same time, don't be in the system. You understand? Just try to be your own individual. Find your space and then be in that space. You know, create a mental heaven for yourself that you can live in. You know, like, I know that sounds like being outside the matrix, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a state of being. Create a state of being, you know, not an imagination or mentalities of how you're gonna maneuver through existence. No, just find a space where you can go into every time the external world or the internal world. So basically, taking the blue pill is the internal world and taking the red pill is the external world, but both of them is just a matrix. The other one is a reflection of the other one, you know. The other one is physical, the other one is spiritual. So still the same thing. So I advise you to take neither of the pills, aka don't fight against the system. Right? Don't resist against the system. Don't even think like there is a system. You know, just find a state of being that you can be in. That's all that you need. Because whether you take the red or the blue one, you are still pretty much existing, you know. So, and you have to understand that existence is like, and you see, like, the video just cut off, so hit this all in the bell, man. See you in the next one, bro. Just didn't check the space, but you know, I just keep uploading those videos. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. See you on the next one. I'm always available, man. Hit this little building, bro. Fuck it, talk, bro. Yeah.